Okay, it is recording. Hello, my friends. After a long time, again, I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna spend some time talking. Where am I? You may hear the river. The river is right in front of me, actually very close. In the village, in the jungle. Our house is right there. And life continues. Life continues for me, although I will say that I have lived quite intense things for me in the past times, in the past months, and in the past even more than months, more than 1 year, since I had some intense things in my life. You may remember, I have already spoken about this before. I was really shaken with being sick, with deadly jungle diseases, which is interesting. It is interesting. It was interesting to me because normally I wouldn't get sick. I would never go to the hospitals, and normally I wouldn't get sick. And I would attribute it to my yogic path that made me so strong internally, I would say, and also had strengthened my immune system, I would suppose. In one way or another, I was very rarely sick for many years, and I was proud that this is my yogic path. I remember one in 2000. I got sick with COVID, which surprised me with quite really interesting symptoms happening in my body, and I saw that this is kind of serious. However, I could heal it myself in a few days' time. I didn't take any medicines, I didn't take any medications, nothing at all. I just did my Mahamrityunjay Triambakam mantra and some maybe breathing exercises, and I was, should I say the word proud of myself? Maybe not that. Maybe I would say I was confident with my practices, with my yogic way of living, and confident that this makes me strong, and this makes me immune to any disease. And I was looking towards diseases kind of a bit like downwards, I would say. I was smilingly looking at the diseases because I knew that even if I get like a flu or something, temperature, I would know that in 1 day or in 2 days max, I would be whole, I would be healed, even without taking any pills, any paracetamol, any painkillers, nothing. I would just be fine with my practices. And this feeling, yes, was severely challenged, or maybe I would even say shattered, destroyed, shattered into pieces when I got sick. And it was already more than 1 year ago. I got this Leishmaniasis thing, which I call zombie disease. Indeed, diseases, jungle diseases that are very serious, very serious, and difficult to heal, requiring very strong antibiotic treatment, as in case with this Leishmaniasis. But in my case, I tried to heal myself. I was quite sure that I will not need any antibiotic intervention, and just as always before in my life, I could heal it myself with my mantras, with my pranayamas, with my asanas, with my love sending to my wounds, and you know what? My practices, no matter how much I practiced, no matter how much mantras I chanted to my wound which I had, to make it heal and make the parasite die, well, these mantras hadn't healed me. My practices hadn't healed me. I had to go to the hospitals, and finally I had to take those strong antibiotics. And to tell you the truth, my friends, I was hurt. And maybe not even as much because my body was hurting with this strong illness, with this deadly disease, which is indeed deadly, Leishmaniasis, but I was even more hurt because I saw that my yogic practices are not enough to heal the disease, that my prayers, my sincere prayers, were not enough to heal this disease. This actually hurt me. This actually hurt me. Not because I think that I'm invincible, very strong, super yogi, real yogi, but because with all of my heart I have faith, trust in those practices, in that yogi way of living and practices which I have done for, I think now it is more than 20 years. So the fact that my practices couldn't heal me hurt me deep inside me, deep inside my spirit, I would say. And I would say, not even, but definitely, my identity of who I am, because real yogi, what do you think about real yogi? I was thinking that the one who walks this path, the sacred path of yoga, shouldn't be ever sick, or if he gets sick, then very mildly, and would easily come out triumphant with a few repetitions of some mantras or some powerful breathing techniques. And this was challenged. I have invested so many years doing my yoga, and when I needed the most, the help of my practices, when I was sick, it hadn't healed me. And I felt strongly disappointed. More than that, I felt hurt, which hurt my heart, and my trust in my practices, my trust in my way of living, which has initiated a process within me, a transformation within me, a spiritual transformation within me, questioning me, who am I? Who am I now? I hope you can hear me well and you don't hear the music that I hear on the other side of the river. So this was a difficult time, and even more so as the process continued with my disease of Leishmaniasis, and I had to be subjected to taking very strong drugs. They would what's it called? IV. I would be administered strong drugs through my vein, and every day I would have to get this. I would have to spend like 2 hours waiting for the strong antibiotic go into my body, into my veins. And I could observe the detrimental effect that these antibiotics has done to me, to my body, the body that I have so much treasured as a gift of God. And with all of my yogic practices, I honored my body. I honored my body as a gift of God, trying to learn about my body, to understand more about my body, to empower my body, empower my energy system, my prana system, my yogic systems. I was trying to empower it and be able to control myself more and more, control my body more and more, and therefore I love my body. I feel really connected with my body, and maybe this is also a very important reason why I wouldn't get sick so much in my life, as I have mentioned to you before. It is because I love my body, and I feel connected with my body, and I feel a good feeling in my body. It is, I guess, what this yogic path made me made me feel my body, made me feel more aware of my body, and make this pleasant, make this presence of my body in me pleasant, joyous. My body feels loved. My body is loved. And suddenly I'm having to get these strong antibiotics, which didn't feel like love, which was, do you see me well, or should I make it more light? Tell me if now it is better, it is more bright, a bit more. So these antibiotics didn't feel like love at all. It felt actually very detrimental to my body, and I felt like I felt hurt to see what I'm doing to my body by getting those antibiotics. It was indeed a difficult experience. The body and the organs that you have so much worked upon with your practices, making them strong, now you see that you are putting venom in them with these things that I was taking. It can be a long story. That definitely is a long story, and I don't want to go more about this. But finally I got healed. Finally I healed from this motherfucker Leishmaniasis. But I didn't come out as triumphant victory based on my own yogic will and practices. But it was more having to get to know different types of antibiotics and their secondary effects in my body. And this was a serious blow to my real yogi identity. I thought that if I cannot heal myself and I have to take these antibiotics, then are my yogic practices as powerful as I believe them to be? This was my thinking. But anyways, okay, how many minutes? Okay, 13 minutes. Let's continue. So anyways, I have healed from this one, from Leishmaniasis, which is, I don't want to talk more about this, but this is a very frightening disease. If you were to find out more about this, you would certainly wouldn't want to have it. And after that, after a few months, or maybe more than a few months, after having healed from this woe, from this disease, I got sick with another very serious jungle disease, which is dengue, it's called dengue, and it is definitely more known, more familiar, more heard about dengue. And I think that in my case, since my body was, after all of these antibiotics I had to take with Leishmaniasis, my body and its immune system were shaken, and I think that this made it more easier for me to get sick again. And this was another long marathon of fighting for my life, because I was really close to death with this dengue disease. I have spent many weeks in the bed, completely exhausted, unable to move. And that also put me through a lot of experiences physically. Again, I have experienced a lot of physical pain and weakness and certain, like, delirium, like being so weak that you become kind of high. You become so weak that you become more spiritual, let's say, because your physical body is very far away, it's very weak. And in that also I had profound spiritual experiences, I will call them this way. Interestingly, I had experiences which I wouldn't even had with my meditations or even my ayahuascas and master plants. I had remembered things from my childhood and different things which, yes, surprised me, and it wasn't very easy to. Of course, it wasn't. It was very hard, and that also made me undergo a deep spiritual. Well, first of all, I would say a deep spiritual destruction, shattering of myself, shattering of my identities, shattering of me. Me again, sick, again, real yogi, sick, close to dying. But in these spiritual experiences, in that agony, in that pain, for example, when the pain becomes so strong, physical pain becomes so strong, or that weakness becomes so strong, your perceptions change, your consciousness change, and you enter a spiritual dimension of where you experience things. And there, between the borderline of agony, of pain, and and spirituality, I have experienced things which I'm still digesting, and it's already been some months ago. It's been already quite many months ago. But this transformation in me is still ongoing, and this is what I'm sharing with you, opening my heart. My life had been intense. I have underwent intense beating by life and intense living. As I was recovering from dengue, as I was still very weak, and every movement was costing me 100 times. It felt like 100 times more energy than normal. Every effort seemed 100 times more difficult than now. This is when my daughter was born here at the house. We wanted our baby to be born at home, no hospital, and it was just among us, even no midwife, which was a very special experience for all of us, and definitely for me as well. However, even in that intense time when I needed to be very strong, I was very weak, and it surprises me how I was able to go through that. I was literally praying every day, God give me strength to make this through. God give me strength to make me, survive and go through and do what I have to. My responsibilities as a family man, financial responsibilities as well, and now you are sick with diseases, you cannot work. Then yes, a lot of different things, a lot of different pressures I have lived. And yes, the birth of my baby also was a very beautiful experience, but also an experience that I will always remember, also because I was still physically very weak, but spiritually I would say flying, let's say it this way. And of course, being a father again, my daughter now has 6 months. 6 months, wow man, 6 months it passed by. And although already quite some time has passed, but I feel that I am still digesting what has happened, and still I'm still undergoing transformation in me, a transformation of my identity. Who am I now? Real yogi who was meditating 10 hours a day minimum. Now I don't have much time to practice. I have very little time to practice because I'm a father, and it requires so much time. The household activities, it also made me question, who am I now? Am I a real yogi? Am I a hermit? No, I'm not a hermit now. a householder, family man. I'm a father. Am I a real yogi still? That's something that I'm still trying to understand. But I think in myself that I'm undergoing a transition, I'm undergoing a transformation. And I feel that this is for good. And I feel that, as they say, well, as I say, difficulties and sufferings makes you stronger and makes you more spiritual, I would say, more experienced. That's for sure. More experienced. And what I have lived, what I am still digesting now, what I'm still undergoing, still is, I believe, is just making me more deep spiritually, and is bringing me another face of what is that real yogi for me. So your dear brother Dolama Mantas is still undergoing transformation in himself with all of these changes that have happened in my life and intense experiences. But I'm grateful to be alive. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I'm very grateful to be alive after all that I've gone through. And I guess this is what I wanted to share with you, something personal, but something that I'm definitely undergoing myself, and let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's see. Time will show. Okay, I'm gonna end this video. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best.